please join me to welcome Dr. Klaus.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thanks a lot. Okay, then I just wanted to thank you very much for the invitation and the chance to talk about the issue, what is taking us the last 3 months heavily. And I just wanted to introduce the base of the work we are doing, and finally then the results of our research, what we did the last 3 months. At first, it seems to me to know that the aim of SOHPS is to support optimal treatment to cancer patients. That's the only thing what we have written in our constitution. And we wanted to have a big party this year because 20 years anniversary, everything can come different. Based on this, we are mostly working together with the patient organization. And this is the Bill of Rights, was declared 4 years ago in the European Parliament, what is naming the 3 important issues for patients. Based on this, the European Society for Oncology Pharmacy feels himself as the largest organization of oncology pharmacists from all over the world. So we have a representative from 63 countries. That means European members from the EU and as well other countries in the world. So we have representatives in delegates of national societies, as well as from smaller countries who have not so much activities, liaison persons. So based on this, our understanding about what is oncology pharmacy is written down in the quality standard since 1996, and we have published the 6th edition in that time and working on the 7th one. Mainly when you want to follow the demand to support cancer patient best, you will learn that educated in the university, maybe it's different in other parts of the world, but mostly in Europe, we have not a specialized education in oncology for pharmacists themselves, and therefore we have developed over collecting experience the last 15 years. We have then built up the European specialization program in oncology pharmacy, about 100 hours training, what is including 50 hours e-learning and the other lectures and face-to-face meetings. And we are working as multi-professional collaboration because we think we are not the only people who have connection to patients as well. Doctors have, nurses are quite busy working in direction to patients. That's why we are member of the European Cancer Organization, and I had the pleasure to be in the board of this society for 8 years. So what is this quality standard? The quality standard has been translated into different languages, 29 at the moment, and we have also from our multi-professional commentaries around about it's a page 500, over more than 500 pages of educating commentaries. So you can we have working as an open source society, so everybody can download these things by PDF. And just to show that we are working together with the European Agency for Medical Drugs, what's the name is EMA, and you know that in Europe we have some difficulties with Brexit. Maybe it's far away from you, but for us it was very important because the EMA headquarters was in London. Now it's changed to Amsterdam because UK is no still longer member of the European Union. So we work with the EMA still a long time together. And you see one of our results of our work is this. When you see this slide, what was published in 1999 at ESCO, shows the difference blood levels, concentration levels of the similar drug 5FU, what has been given based on the body surface. And you see that after a term of time, you see that the patient who have been then surveyed show a different concentration of this drug in the blood. That means it depends from the enzyme influence to this drug, and that means, therefore, we have asked since 20 years to make a profile for patients and to make a drug monitoring research before you start with the treatment. And now the EMA, finally, we're happy about that. After 20 years, they have written it down in the rules of the treatment of 5FU. So what about European Commission is, what should I say, is
Dr. Klaus, there is just a screen, there's something shown in the screen. If you just ignore it in your screen, a certain slow network connection, something like this. It's covering.
No, it's okay. Can you hear me?
It's appearing, yes, appearing for us here. So it's covering your screen. Something, there is a note written slow network connection.
Okay.
Can you see it, Abir? Is it the same for your computer, Abir?
No, doctor.
No, I don't see it at my computer. But I switch off. Probably I switch off my video. Maybe then the transformation is better.
Abir, what haliki? There is no note.
No note, and it's clear and perfect.
Okay.
You can continue, Dr. Klaus, with your cam. It's fine.
It's okay. I've switched off. Yeah, probably it's better then.
Okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can keep it, Klaus. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank
So coming back to that point, we are just when we are talking about the European Commission, then we have to talk about also about the influence. What is not what should I say? Deal with our own experience. But 75 years ago, the Second World War was finished. It's also today the anniversary of WHO as well. They were founded after the Second World War. And these are the results of this trial to make a collaboration with countries who have different opinions, who have a different experience, who have different, what should I, sources. And therefore, we are happy then when the European Commission now opened a roadmap for pharmaceutical strategy in timely patient access to affordable medicines. That's one of our main issues. And you see, with this, you see at this slide on the right side, the picture what shows the answers from our participants to the question 15. Do you have experienced any medicine shortages or delays in distribution due to industrial production? And you see that 44 response say yes, and in addition 13 say mostly, and only 42 say no. That means the attachment, that being touched by this situation of of drug shortage will be the, what should I say, the main title. What is related then to not deliverable, what is related to the plants problems with non-steroid products, but the result is that the drug is not present for patients. Therefore, we are part of this European strategy and the roadmap to deal with the European Commission how to make it better in the future. Coming back now to the main point, what is we are talking about the COVID. You know, these are the new cases of yesterday. You see, it's turning around from the new cases of the highest number to the others, and you see also Saudi Arabia is on the 11th point. Maybe it's not feeling so bad because the only 41 deaths per 1 million people, and the number of the new cases is mainly growing or is mainly higher as it has been expected. But you see, when you see put it in result, that we have different waves, and we are following these waves. Mostly you see countries in South America. When we come back to Germany, so you don't have seen it on the list, but you know that we have had in the beginning have been part in this wave. You see, The question, what was given by the world, how many corona patients do you have isolated in general wards this week? And you see then diverse answers. Only 40% said no, we have no isolated corona patient, and the others have much or much more higher numbers. And that was the reason, one of the reasons what we are discussing now, what can be the follow-up of the experience we had in this time, is that one of the reasons was that 20% of the hospitals in Germany have been empty. We have sent back patients at home who have not been necessarily staying long in hospitals, and we have not taken eligible people who would have been in mind to have some kind of operation at the knee or whatever, so no emergency. And this people we have said just wait 1 or 2 months with the operation. Therefore, we had the opportunity to have enough space for corona patients and enough space also intensive care halls. And when you see now from yesterday the map of Germany, you see only one part with more than 50 infected people to 100,000 inhabitants. And that's an area where one big plant working with ham has been contaminated, infected their workers. More than 1,400 people have been infected there. That's why it's really isolated region. And we are working on that to isolate and identify the outbreak again, to make it happen that only the isolated parts of this community will be reflected and infected. So let's see to the question we did to our participants. What is the situation about infection of members in the pharmacies? And then you see this, what should I say, this wave going up and down, but we are still at around about 30% of those who are working in the pharmacies having members and partners who have been infected. And when you make a relationship between the question, does the government provide you with PPEs for personal use, or you're responsible to seek them alone, in relationship to is the stock masks, antiseptic solutions, and so on, enough to serve the need of patients? And you see, yes, mostly. Now we have the situation that only 13% are really underserved. And this is related then also to parts, what we say, the poorest of the poor get the infection at most. And that's what shows us that we have to do a lot of things to be prepared, and as well to prepare ourselves in a healthcare system for this. So related to our discussion with our colleagues and doctors, what kind of imprint it has compared to the cancer patient. Then you see to the question, is the planned operation has treatment patients and therapy decreased? Yes, it has decreased for nearly 50%, and the others not. And have you and when you see the question 8, did the number of chemotherapy preparation decrease compared to the month of January? Then you see in February it was not so much, but March and April and May showed us that the number of cancer patients who came into the hospital to get an IV treatment was decreased mostly around about 10 or to 20%. And now in June, we see a little bit that the situation is changing. Only those countries who have been a high infection rate, what is South America and a part of Africa, has then this number, what is in the situation of decreased treatment. And finally, what is touching us a lot, because also colleagues from community pharmacists being related to ambulatory care treatment of patients, is have you got a shortage of medicine that is necessary for the treatment of corona patient? Then you see that was also 30%. So let's come to the end. What have we learned out of this questionnaire? Now, today we have opened the 12th one, so that's the last one of the row. weekly after 11 weeks, we can see that it's important to give our colleagues who are struggling day by day in front of the really heavy amount of work, the chance to express themselves and to have a communication between each another, and to not to feel alone with this issue. And we have seen that based on this, we could install a dynamic communication, what brought us also countries who have not been related to us in the past to communicate with us. On the map, you can see these are mostly the 60 countries who have started a stronger communication with us about all this issue. Yes, the US is not present for sure, and China is also not present for sure. So everybody can think about that, what's the reason for it. But you see, the other countries have started to communicate strongly and to exchange, and get also weekly the report about the results, that they can compare the situation with their own. So, and this means that we have, based on this, also tried to make in communication level to install not only reporting, but also to make it possible that the communication in webinars was given mostly second weekly. And you see, we started with the president of European Cancer Organization about the effects, what has been shown in the beginning. We had a discussion with Professor Alain Astier about what is the situation about vaccination, and where's the status, and what we have to learn of with active and passive vaccination drugs. As well, we saw that in the meantime, that was not only infection by disease, it was also infection by misinformation. That's why we have brought a discussion, fakes and facts, together. And you can be sure all this data and is open source. You can find on our homepage that you can see one about the discussion about the influence of ibuprofen. So, you know, everybody knew that it was not truth. But also the Ministry of Health of France was jumping on this car. And finally, the result was that everybody wants to have paracetamol. India decided not to deliver paracetamol to the world because they are the main producer of it. So you see, these are diverse things what are also having influence on the stock market. And it's not only a question about management of illness. Finally, we will have on Monday the discussion with Mark Lawler, who's a member of the board of ECHO.
I think there's a problem in the sound.
Cancer becomes the forgotten sea in the fight against. We see that is the second wave is growing. This second wave is growing. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you now. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Najwa, he might lose the
we can't hear you. Huh?
Dr. Najwa, he might lose his connection. Just wait for a second, please. He will do it again.
Okay.
Next again. Yes, Dr. Klaus, could you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh God, yeah, that's the difficulties of new technology. But it's the last slide. So I was just talking about the unanswered question. It's about the immunity. What about this? Is it happen? Does this post-infection immunity will help us in the future? So, what will happen? Will the world be like it has been? What about vaccination, compulsory vaccination, the proof of vaccination? What about then a political discussion about immunity passport, that you don't come into a bar when you have no immunity passport? Everybody is talking about this issue, because as long as you have no influence to minimize the infection and no influence to make it happen that this illness can be treated in a what should I say, in a special way, not like this, that you have some kind of drugs who are on the market can be used now. But so we see that, you see that the links, what is on the slide, you can use it, the privilege and immune certification during the COVID pandemic was published in JAMA, and the ethics about the base immunity-based license, what is also based on this publication. So you see, we are open to many questions. We are open to courses together to find solutions for the post-infection time, but as well we are waiting for good treatment. And the most thing what we want to have is that our workers who are fighting day by day for people who are ill in hospitals and elsewhere, that these people have been supported and be recognized in the future as those who have been standing in the first front to beat this enemy. Thanks a lot for your attendance.
Thank you, Dr. Klaus, for